The Jamison family disappearance. Sin in the Bible Belt. In the days before they vanished, people close to the Jamison family noticed that something wasn't right. Not in a way that could be easily explained. Not anything dramatic or outwardly dangerous. Just strange. Bobby and Sherilyn Jamison lived with their 6-year-old daughter Madison in Eufaula. Friends later told investigators that the couple seemed withdrawn in the days leading up to their disappearance. Conversations were brief. Their focus appeared narrow, almost fixed, as if they were preoccupied with something they weren't sharing. There was no announcement that they planned to leave town. No goodbye visits, no indication they expected to be gone for long. What was known was that they had been discussing the possible purchase of a 40-acre plot of undeveloped land near Red Oak, remote, wooded property in the Sambois Mountains, roughly 30 miles from their home. Around this same time, the Jamisons reportedly told friends and their pastor that they believed their house was haunted. They claimed to be seeing spirits inside the home. Those statements were documented but never verified, and investigators did not determine whether they played any role in what followed. Then there was the surveillance footage. Video from the family's home security system, time-stamped the day they left, shows Bobby and Sherilyn making repeated trips between their house and their pickup truck. They do not speak. They do not look at one another. They do not appear rushed. Instead, they move carefully, methodically, what investigators later described as trance-like. At one point, Sherilyn is seen placing a brown briefcase into the truck. That briefcase has never been recovered. The footage ends. The Jamison family drives away. They are never seen alive again. The disappearance. A few days later, the Jamisons' pickup truck was found abandoned in a rural part of Latimer County, just south of the town of Kinta. The family was gone. Inside the vehicle, investigators found nearly everything they would have needed if they planned to disappear. Their wallets, their identification cards, their mobile phones, a GPS unit, and approximately $32,000 in cash. The Jamisons were not known for carrying large amounts of money. Also inside the truck was their dog, Maisie. She was alive, but severely malnourished. There was no blood, no sign of a struggle, no indication of what happened after the family left the vehicle. If the Jamisons had vanished voluntarily, they left behind nearly every tool they would have needed to do so. The search, law enforcement and volunteers searched the surrounding area extensively. The terrain was difficult: dense forest, uneven ground, limited visibility. Helicopters scanned from above. Dogs were brought in. Searchers combed the woods on foot. Nothing was found. No clothing. No footprints that led anywhere definitive. No personal belongings. Investigators could not determine whether the family had walked away from the truck, been forced elsewhere, or met some other fate entirely. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the search slowed. Then it stopped. Years without answers. For more than 4 years, the Jamison family remained missing. There were no confirmed sightings, no financial activity, no communication with friends or relatives. In the absence of answers, theories filled the space left behind. Some believed the family had staged their disappearance. Others suspected foul play. Some suggested the Jamisons had become disoriented and died in the wilderness. None of those theories could explain all the evidence. The abandoned truck, the untouched cash, the dog left behind, the missing briefcase, the missing handgun. Without bodies, there were no conclusions. The discovery. In November of 2013, more than 4 years after the family vanished, 2 hunters were moving through a remote area of Latimer County when they noticed something unusual on the ground. They had found skeletal remains. 2 adults, 1 child. The area was isolated, heavily wooded, and difficult to access, and it was less than 3 miles from where the Jamisons' pickup truck had been abandoned. At first, officials could not confirm who the remains belonged to. Time, weather, and exposure had erased nearly all identifying evidence. Anthropological and forensic testing followed. On July the 3rd, 2014, the Oklahoma medical examiner confirmed what many had long suspected. The remains belonged to Bobby Jamison, Sherilyn Jamison, and their daughter, Madison. No resolution. Even with the discovery, the case did not end. Due to the advanced state of decomposition, no cause of death could be determined. There was no definitive evidence of homicide. No clear signs of an accident, no proof of suicide. The briefcase was never found. The handgun was never recovered. No suspect was ever identified. The Jamison family vanished quietly into the Oklahoma wilderness, and whatever happened to them left no clear record behind. The unanswered question: they packed calmly, they brought cash, they left essentials behind, they abandoned their vehicle, and when they were finally found, years later, the evidence was gone with them. So the question remains: did the Jamison family die as the result of something tragic and accidental? Or did something happen in those woods that was never seen, never recorded, and never explained? Because more than a decade later, no one knows what truly happened to the Jamisons, and that silence is all the case has left.